Many retailers in Malaysia are likely familiar with radio frequency identification tech. RFID tags help keep track of inventory and can be a data minefield. MBT Innovations counts itself a leader in the RFID space and is also investing heavily in near-field communications or NFC tech. We caught up with their chairman and CEO, Liew Choon Lian, to find out how much significance the company places on its R&D.
Being an R&D oriented company, we invest very heavily in fiscal budget. We put in 15 to 20% of our overall turnover, our sales revenue, back into research and development. And we innovate and we create products that are not already in the market. And hence we have a 3-year to 5-year lead time, ahead of the market. Hence we are one of the IoT leader in the region, if not in Asia, I would say.
Now you're known primarily for your RFID technology, so what kind of applications are you seeing that will give you that leapfrog application?
Okay, RFID, radio frequency identification, used to be a term described for authentication, tracking and monitoring of products, human being, pets and even equipment. But that is just a small portion of the big picture that we call IoT, Internet of Things, which embed RFID technology and integrate with mobile apps and the overall internet environment platform and making things happen, information at your fingertips, as Bill Gates said.
Now RFID, in terms of where it can be applied, its uses are varied. Apparel is one big area. So what kind of customer base are you building there?
Application for RFID is very diverse. For tracking of the inventory of apparel is just one of them. But we do big data analytics, meaning when a piece of apparel is hanging on the shelf, is whether it's being sold very quickly or it is hanging there for 3 months and collecting dust with nobody looking at it. So you can actually use RFID chip to track consumer behaviors and also to improve loyalty programs. So that is for apparel industry. But security is a very important issue. We put RFID chip in the school badge, in the school children. The program we call School Track is tracking the movement of students, attendance, school child safety and security. And also for asset management, hospital equipment, warehouses, illegal access control, vehicle tracking and monitoring. So that is for transportation sector. Now, if we go into supply chain management, tagging individual item for stock checking, that is also RFID application. So it's very diverse.
Another area where you're making waves is near-field communications. Tell us more about those.
Yes, NFC, near-field communication. It is an enabling technology that allows object in proximity to be identified, for signal and information to be transmitted on real time without touch or even within a certain proximity. For example, we embed RFID chip and secured element into NFC SIM cards, enabling this ordinary telephone to become a mobile payment device. So that's one example of NFC application for keys, car keys, for locks, and also for cards that identify your authority to go through a certain zone, R&D, labs, hospitals. So NFC application is widely used these days. In healthcare, they put it in the wristband of the baby, right? And also for, there's a document tracking, whether this document is in your office or mine, who took the document last night at 3 a.m. With this so-called RFID sticker on the trays, you can actually check the whereabouts of the document. We call it document tracking. So now you can see NFC and RFID, the application is so diverse. And to be able to succeed, you need to integrate these different technologies and make embedded solutions. You don't just sell it as it is. It doesn't generate that kind of value.
And you have quite the regional footprint when it comes to your market access, as well as where you derive your technology from. So which market is the most significant for you?
Originally, we focused on ICI. It's easy to remember. Indonesia, China, and India, which is half the population of the world. And later on, we found out Australia is a very lucrative market with a lot of easy so-called receptance. People are more receptive to new technology and they pay a higher price. So ICIA. And of late, we ventured into a big continent called Africa, and we found out that the security products and identification product has a huge potential. So beginning 2016, maybe 20 to 30% of our 200 million ringgit revenue could be attributed by the new market, which is Africa.
And do you find that you have to create localized solutions for these markets?
You see, security is an issue, identification is an issue, mobility is an issue. You need to create mobile units, easily accessible, easily used by the consumers, even in the deserts. That you require innovation and know-how. We believe we have the resources to do that, and we have in fact begun submitting samples and prototypes to be approved for very large projects in that continent. So that is the upside of the company that we are looking at.
Welcome back to Moving Malaysia. In the second part of our interview with Liew Choon Lian, Group Chairman and CEO of MDT Innovations, we asked how the company has gone about meeting its targets despite 2015 being a tough year for Malaysian business.
We have already overachieved the target that we have set. Last year we made 75 million ringgit turnover. We wanted to do 100 million this year. We have exceeded 108 million as of end of October. So we have already exceeded our sales target. And next year we were planning for a 40% growth on an annual basis. We believe next year the growth could be 100% based on the existing project so-called projection.
So given the currency volatility that we've experienced, where do you fall on that equation?
90% of our customers were based in China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Indonesia, is non-Malaysian customers. So currency fluctuation, especially US dollar appreciation, works towards my advantage. Based on the current trend, I think our profitability will be increased significantly.
So for you, when you consider input costs, is that a headache?
Actually, a lot of the material cost is minimal, insignificant in our business. You look at the thread, you look at the IC chip, it's very minute. The entire cost basically in the development process, 3 to 5 months in order to create a new product. We call it engineering resources was the cost. Once the product is ready, when you commercialize it, the cost is negligible. So we are in very good shoes. In other words, this business is a highly profitable, lucrative business, IoT.
Now, as you say, this is a profitable business. What kind of investments are you looking to make in the near term?
Human resources. We need to hire more talents. We need to hire more people to scale up from a $100 million company to a $1 billion company. You have to do that. And you need to buy equipment to enhance the R&D. You need to have more precise equipment. You need to invest in the CNC and prototyping those precision machines. And you need to acquire licenses and pay for intellectual properties when you do not own them.
And on that note, you must be keeping your eye on some risks.
Definitely, yeah. One of the risks that we are facing is there are a lot of companies in this industry because it's the most promising industry sector. And you can see multinational companies, Cisco, Intel, everybody moving into this. Is it a competition? To me, no. They will help drive the industry.